Hello, my name is Noelle, and today I'll be presenting an internal communications campaign plan for Chipotle Mexican Grill. The contributors to this campaign are Jada Crespo, Edward Green, Adriana Mancini, Ashley McMahon, Kelsey Zeigel, and me, Noelle. Let's jump right in. Let's touch on Chipotle's background. Chipotle was founded by Steve Ells in 1993. Ells attended the Culinary Institute of America and was determined to be a chef at his own restaurant. After working as a line chef in a high-end restaurant, he decided to take his expertise and open up one on his own. He opened up the very first Chipotle right outside of the University of Denver's campus. Els and his father figured he'd have to sell at least 107 burritos a day to break even. Little did he know, after just 1 month, he'd be selling around 1,000 burritos per day. Els thought about moving to fine dining, but he decided to open up more Chipotles. By 2017, they have over 2,400 operating restaurants. Interestingly, Chipotle does not franchise its restaurants. Each one is solely owned by the corporation, which Els feels creates a uniform culture. Moving on to mission, vision, and values. Chipotle's mission and value statement can be found on their website. Their mission is, day after day, we are committed to sourcing the very best ingredients we can find and preparing them by hand, to vegetables grown in healthy soil and pork from pigs allowed to freely root and roam outdoors in deeply bedded barns. We're committed because we understand the connection between how food is raised and prepared and how it tastes. Chipotle also touches on its stakeholders they live out their mission for. It's a bit humorous, which gives the brand a personality, and is stated as, we do this for farmers, animals, the environment, dentists, crane operators, ribbon dancers, cartographers, and you. This is a great example of Chipotle's culture. It's obviously very conscious of corporate social responsibility, and that's reflected in its mission and values. This really serves Gen Z and millennials, who are all for social responsibility and are starting to demand it. Let's move on to a SWOT analysis. Each of the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats will be touched on from an internal standpoint. Some strengths Chipotle has is it has a great distribution network that allows it to reach the majority of its target audience. Employees have a direct hand in this. Chipotle has strong profits, allowing the company freedom to put money into new projects and internal initiatives, which could be an opportunity as well. Chipotle has a strong brand portfolio with an emphasis on mission and values that show what the organization is about. This is a strong platform and foundation for new internal communications programs to kick off from. Chipotle is known for having highly skilled employees through successful training programs. Okay, so let's move on to weaknesses. Chipotle has experienced limited success trying to expand to new product lines and explore new ventures due to its current corporate culture. It is not highly successful at integrating new large firms and companies with different work cultures into their organization. They're much better at it with smaller firms when they merge. Chipotle has a high turnover rate of staff and has to spend a lot of time and effort training and developing new employees. This is a direct reflection of organizational culture. The company is investing money in research and development. However, they're having issues with innovation. Successful internal communications can be a direct player in solving this. Okay, let's look at opportunities and threats. The company is currently using strategic initiatives to acquire new customers through sustainability efforts. So engaging employees in open dialogue and communication can create innovative ideas for more initiatives. The food service sector in the U.S. is growing, and the company will need strong internal communications to capitalize on this. New initiatives and expansion is on the horizon, as the U.S. is also growing in travel and tourism. With the economy on its way up, there has been an increase in consumer spending. With that comes job opportunities. Now let's move on to threats. Chipotle faces intense competition in the food service sector. It has to consistently innovate and keep up to maintain its competitive edge. Employee engagement and innovative ideas can address this threat. Millennials and Gen Z are coming up in the workforce. They want different things than generations before, and corporate social responsibility is one of them. Chipotle does a good job of showcasing this, but is it enough for the changing employee? Government-mandated minimum wages and tight labor markets can put a financial strain on employees. on Chipotle as well. Minimum wages are rising, and they need to learn how to address it. After doing some research, we've identified the problem. Internal communications manager for Chipotle, Amy Jenkins, placed importance on moving to mobile messaging and addressing turnover. These are two problems internal communications faces. The organization needs to move information to a place where every employee can access it easily and readily. Chipotle faces an issue with trying to connect with new employees without exhausting the ones who have been around for more than a year. The main goal is to connect all employees no matter how long they've been around. So it's clear that there are a few opportunities for improvement. The area with the most opportunity is lack of innovation and a lack of participative culture. It is believed that the higher turnover rate, inability to merge large firms with different cultures, and a need to become more mobile are all issues that could be addressed by employing a participative culture with an emphasis on innovation. Being able to engage employees and offer them a participative organizational culture could be a potential difference maker in turnover rates and Chipotle's ability to assimilate with every firm it merges with. Utilize upward communication and employs innovative ideas. This could help Chipotle tenfold. Chipotle has over 2,000 locations and approximately 83,000 employees. 77,000 of those work on an hourly basis and 6,000 are salaried. Chipotle also has fully equipped teams in each of their restaurants to ensure positive guest experiences. The key players of their management are their CEOs, their CFO, their CMO, their Chief Communications Officer, Chief Corporate Reputation, etc. The directors range in ages from 41 to 76, so they are members of Gen X and baby boomers. Each director serves a one-year term, and the majority of directors on Chipotle's board have served since 2016. Two directors have served on Chipotle's board for over 10 years. Due to Chipotle's past issues with the flow of internal information to all employees leading to a loss of trust and damaged work relationships discussed in the SWOT, we have devised two goals for the organization's internal communication campaign. One of our goals is to increase effective communication to all employees, and secondly, to build stronger relationships among all levels of employees. To accomplish our first goal, our objective is to have an effect on employee company awareness of internal information between all employees, specifically to increase effective internal communication by 50% within 6 months. The expected outputs are primarily focused on corporate social networks, such as Slack, and efforts to have a designated location for company information. The expected outtakes would be tracking how many employees download and use the mobile app programs for Slack, how many emails are viewed and follow social media metrics, such as likes, shares, and comments. The expected outcomes are hopefully overall increased awareness of company information, whether that be for new protocols, training updates, etc. Our second goal is to have an effect on the relationships between higher and lower management of Chipotle employees, specifically to increase the positive attitude and morale of employees by 20% within 6 months. The expected outputs are similar to Goal 1, including the use of corporate social networks and social media use. However, including upper management video speeches in an effort to build relationships would be helpful. The expected outtakes include tracking company video views and download and use of corporate social network platforms. The expected outcomes are increased positive relationships between employees and the organization, job satisfaction, and engagement. Overall, employees should feel that they are valued and understood. So the overall goal of this campaign is to establish a participative culture that will in turn help retention, create a motivated workforce, and establish the working culture of Chipotle. So here are some key messages for this campaign. Help us help you. With changes in the processes and handling of new ways to order in restaurants, we want to ensure that Chipotle is creating a collaborative environment that allows employees to make changes and alter their work environment. The power of blank. This will be a series with different food items filling in the blank. So let's say the power of cheese. This will be a documentary style series that allows employees to see how Chipotle picks their ingredients and comes up with recipes for the restaurant. This allows employees to feel more connected to the food and involved in what they are serving. The third message would be, let's talk about it. This will be an initiative that pushes for team meetings and open communication. It is critical that we are encouraging employees to speak up and out about their positions, their jobs, and their work environment. For employees to be dedicated and hardworking, they have to be happy. We need to provide them with the tools to make the most out of their position. So, the strategies for this campaign include a change in formal organizational rules and employee feedback. Chipotle plans to have an updated system where they can reach employees quickly and allow employees to have reliable access to information. Chipotle also wants to create a more open form of communication with their employees by gaining insight and feedback from them. By implementing both of these strategies, there should be an increase in employee trust and a decrease in the high turnover rate. Now on to tactics and channels. These tactics and channels were orchestrated to cultivate a vocal environment between employees and their managers. Different communication channels are used for each tactic in order to determine the most engaging means of communication for the majority of employees. This is all about developing a plan to gain the reinstatement of trust and transparency from employees back into the internal communications department. This will be done through listening and implementing employee ideas and suggestions. These tactics will increase the likelihood that employees will become more productive and efficient. Continuing with tactics, here are 5 more. To generate content and encourage employees to download the app, we will push content through the app. The first pieces of content will be documentary-style video series that shows employees how Chipotle picks its ingredients and creates its recipe for the restaurant. This will allow employees to feel closer to the food. The next deal with training. First, we have to train managers on how to entice employees to give them feedback, have open communication, and give idea generation in person. It is key that managers are helping the company create a culture that is participative, understanding, and open. Next, we have to train them on how to properly use the social network we're going to roll out and teach them the benefits of doing so. This will ensure that the managers are encouraging the use of the app and working to reap the benefits that it will provide. This is critical. Without the backing and support of managers, the tactics will not be successful. Within the social network, we have to identify a place where employees can submit suggestions and provide feedback. This will be key in using the app as a way to enable communication and allow employees' voices to be heard. It is crucial that a two-way flow of communication is established, and this will assist in that. Now to the final part of this presentation. The evaluations of the goals and objectives will be determined on the success of the implementation of the tactics. This includes metrics such as the number of employees viewing the video series, the number of employees utilizing the social networks, along with the number of suggestions and ideas received. The success of these metrics matter because it determines whether or not the tactics were sufficient enough to reach the goals and objectives. This includes increasing effective communication by 50% and building stronger relationships along with employee satisfaction among all levels of authority by 20%. Additionally, retention rates of employees over the next 6 months will be a huge key performance indicator of the overall success of the goals and objectives. This is specifically for employee satisfaction rates. Thank you so much for your time. We look forward to hearing from you and hope you're safe and well right now. Thank you.